of Management Studies IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 016 International Business Management for MBA program. Presenting Block 4 International Business Functions, Unit 12 International Operations and Logistics Management, Part 1.
Objectives. After reading this unit, you should be able to 1. Describe the meaning, nature, and scope of international operations and logistics management. 2. Identify various strategic issues involved in international operations management. 3. Discuss the elements and components of international logistics management and the role of outsourcing. And 4. Appreciate the issues involved in managing international service operations, including international retailing. Introduction. This unit will discuss in general the various aspects of international operations management. It draws your attention to the entire logistics of goods from stage of sourcing of raw material to manufacturing and transportation or delivery of goods to customers in international markets. Hence, we will focus on various activities of a firm that are related to the design, planning, and control of resources for transforming them not only into more useful tangible goods, but also into intangible services. In the fact, the central role of operations management is to create the potential for achieving superior value of the firm. In operations management, an international firm needs to make decisions on several strategic issues such as international production strategies, international logistics management, international service operations, international retailing, and international supply chain management. In international business operations, creating value through production and operations is of paramount importance as it helps any firm to offer not only cost-effective but high-quality products to its global customers. Furthermore, the business ecosystem involves the integration and management of diverse subsystems. The foremost two terms need to be clearly understood. 1. Production management. It is a set of all interrelated management activities which are involved in producing tangible goods. Alternatively, it is called manufacturing management. It includes factories, machines, assembly lines, inventories, and workers, etc. 2. Operations management. Now the scope of production or manufacturing management has enlarged to a great extent. In fact, production concepts and techniques are now applied to a range of services-related activities and situations. Example: education, healthcare, entertainment, regulatory support, banking, civil administration, etc. This extended scope has given rise to a new field of management called operations management. Few of the important contributors in the field of operations management are Adam Smith. He has given the concept of specialization of labor in manufacture. Charles Babbage, given the concept of division of labor by skills. F.W. Taylor, introduced the approach of scientific management and the concept of work study. F.B. Gilbert, given the concept of motion study of operators while doing any job. F.W. Harris has done pioneering work in the area of economic lot sizes for inventory control. W.A. Schwartz introduced statistical quality control for industrial manufacturing. H.F. Dodge and H.C. Roming introduced the statistical sampling method applied to quality control. G.B. Danzig, linear program used for operations management. W. E. Deming and J. Juran introduced an integrated view of the quality, productivity, and profitability specifically for Japanese manufacturing organizations. International Operations Management. Operations management is becoming more and more international in its scope. Even a firm which markets the products or services only within domestic market may be conducting its business operations internationally, like sourcing of the inputs or finished products internationally and even manufacturing the products internationally. A dynamic company will take advantage of the favorable conditions that exist anywhere in the world. We may say that international operations management refers to the transformation of raw material into finished goods and other related activities of an international firm. There are several advantages in planning for large scale production for international markets rather than producing for domestic markets. These may include cost of production. The firms producing globally can take advantage of location advantages, that is, producing close to sources of supply or close to customers, keeping in mind the cost cutting of products or creating value proposition for its customers. For instance, Apple outsourced its manufacturing operations to low cost destinations like China and India. Global auto components manufacturers are locating to India for cost advantages for global operations. Global retail chains get their textiles and apparel stitched or produced in Bangladesh or Vietnam for cost advantages. Scale of economies. A firm can take advantage of scale of economies, that is, Coca-Cola sells standardized soft drink in more than 160 countries across the globe. It also adds to the advantage of the global experience curve by learning from global markets. However, two criteria must be taken into consideration while taking advantage of scale of economies and experience curve. A. It must create value for a customer, and B. The demand must be sufficiently large to reap these scale advantages. Moreover, internationally engaged business firms seek to create value proposition through manufacturing operations. For instance, they may consolidate manufacturing for several nearby countries to take advantage of economies of scale and reduce the shipping cost and tariffs. A firm can substitute higher cost foreign suppliers and can also reduce transportation costs. They can sell the same products in several contiguous or nearby countries. They can also shift production processes among plants in different countries to achieve process specialization, cost cutting, and reap benefits of factor endowments. Thus, it can be concluded that operations management is significant for a firm as manufacturing function provides a strategic intent to any firm to compete successfully in the international market. Other related areas of significant importance is operations management, total quality management, business process re-engineering, new product development, lead time, greater flexibility, business process outsourcing, Six Sigma, and reduced cost of production. Strategic issues in international operations management. Operations management of an international business must be well integrated with the corporate strategy of the firm. In fact, corporate strategy of the firm should set the boundaries for planning and implementation of activities relating to operations management. For example, if a firm is adopting a differentiation strategy, international operations management must focus on creating goods and services that are able to build a unique value proposition to its customers, which is different from its competitors. As such, the organization's corporate strategy dictates the strategic issues relating to operations management. The important ones are 1. International production strategies, 2. International logistics management, 3. International service operations, 4. International retailing, and 5. International supply chain management. International production strategies include various decision areas like sourcing and vertical integration, standardization of production facilities, outsourcing, technology transfer, etc. However, the success of international production strategies depends on 4 C's, that is, A. Manufacturing compatibility. Compatibility is the range of consistency between foreign investment and company's competitive strategy. Managers must consider following strategies. 1. Cost minimization strategy. The driving force here is to establish economies of scale and producing in the countries where labor costs are low. This is the prime reason for ever growing foreign investments in the markets of Asia, part of Africa, Latin America, and Eastern Europe. These locations are attractive because of low labor cost, the availability of cheap raw materials, as well as components and the proximity to the market. We have witnessed that as the wages rose in South Korea, the manufacturing began to shift to the other low cost destinations like China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. China is now the world's largest industrial base with around 28.7% share in the global production and 15% share in world trade. 2. Dependability. It is the degree of trust in companies' products, its delivery assurance and price promises. 3. Quality. Quality refers to the ability of a product or service to consistently meet or exceed customers' expectations. Quality offers competitive advantage of a firm. Honda, Nissan and Toyota captured US market because of the quality only. Time quality management (TQM) and quality certification are essential for success in global arena. Performance reliability, service quality, speed of delivery and consistency are all important components of quality aspect. 4. Flexibility. It refers to the ability of the production process to make different kinds of product and to adjust the volume of output. This relates to the concept of agile manufacturing. 5. Research and development (R&D). It refers to the organized efforts that are directed towards increasing scientific knowledge and product or process innovations. Most of the advances in semiconductors, communication, medicine, and aerospace technology can be attributed to R&D efforts. B. Production configuration. Management of the firm needs to determine the configuration of production facilities. There are 3 basic configurations. 1. Centralized production. Here, manufacturing facility is developed at a centralized location, maybe the home country itself, and products are offered to different markets. 2. Regional production. Here one can serve the customer of a particular region only by a specific production facility. 3. Multi-country approach. When the demand in specific countries becomes significant, one can manufacture close to the customers using country-specific production facilities to meet local needs. However, location of production facility depends on the following factors. 1. Country factor. It includes availability of resources, cost of resources, availability of infrastructure, facility of power, water, transportation, communication, medical care, education, housing, etc., and culture of land and law and order situation. 2. Technology factor. The type of technology a firm uses in its production processes can be decisive in a location design. More specifically, if the fixed cost of setting up a plant is extremely high, a firm may serve the world market from a single location from very few locations. Technology may also make it feasible to perform an activity from multiple locations. 3. Product factor. This may also influence the location decision. The important ones are value to weight ratio if it is serving the universal needs. Electronic components, pharma products, gems and jewelry, etc. have high value to weight ratios. They are expensive but do not weigh much. Even if they are shipped by air to any part of the world, the transportation cost accounts for a very small percentage of the total cost. 4. Government policies. This has a considerable impact on location decision. Government policies include policies on foreign ownership of production facilities, extent of indigenization, import restrictions, currency restrictions, environmental regulations, local product standards, political stability, and labor laws, etc. 5. Organizational issues. Though internal to the firm, these issues like business strategy and organization structure are also detriments of location facility. C. Production coordination. This implies linking or integrating activities into a unified system. The activities include everything along the international supply chain, from inbound logistics to process logistics, and finally, outbound logistics to cater price, place, form, and possession utilities to customers competitively. D. Control of production. Control may relate to the measuring of performance so that companies can respond appropriately to changing business conditions. Another aspect of control system is the organizational structure, which is to coordinate all its activities as per the plan. Standard operating procedure and strategies should also be in place to take care of any deviation that may come from uncontrollable factors without major deviation from time and cost. International Logistics Management. As per the Council of Logistics Management USA, logistics management is the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost effective flow and storage of raw material, in process inventory, finished goods, and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption in order to meet customers' requirements. In fact, logistics is an important dimension of supply chain management. The difference between supply chain management and logistics is that of the degrees where logistics deals with operational issues and SCM deals with strategic one. Furthermore, logistics deals with cost-effective and efficient delivery of goods and services. SCM is far more comprehensive. It addresses issues of improving existing process, leveraging technology to deliver better services, creating relationship with all stakeholders of supply chain, and constantly outsmarting competitors with superior value proposition to customer. International business managers need to focus on four issues relating to logistics. 1. Inbound logistics, flow of raw materials, parts and supplies from vendors to the firm. 2. Process logistics, flow of production process including cost-effective access to all utilities and labor. 3. Outbound logistics, flow of materials, parts and supplies between different units of the firm and issues related to all outbound logistics. And 4. Reverse logistics, flow of smooth returns of packing and delivery utilities and of obsolete, outdated, out-fashioned and rejected cargo. Douglas M. Lambert explains the concept of logistics by describing the role of management actions on logistical inputs through various stages of logistics, including subsystem elements, with the objective of managing the orderly movement of material, money, machine, and man within the logistics system as to ensure the supply of goods and services to end user in an effective and efficient manner at the right time, right price, and right condition. Growing role of international logistics. International logistics decision can be prime source of gaining competitive advantages in global markets. Any firm with global motivations should plan, execute, and implement the logistics system that is instantaneous, free, and readily available with suitable capacity and frequency to achieve value and productivity advantages while satisfying the requirements of customers in the international market. International logistics system of the firm should have a fair mix of its all elements to increase the value of its total marketing offer. There is a model of 7 R's: right promotion, right condition, right quantity, right place, right product, right price, right time, which signifies why firms pay so much attention to logistics function to gain competitive advantage in global markets. The volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous VUCA times in the global pandemic has further increased the need of proper understanding of each subsystem of international logistics. Interface of marketing and logistics. International marketing and logistics are interlinked as both play an important role in not only winning global customers but to retain them successfully by serving their needs on time. While the marketing function is aimed at creation of demand through product, price, and promotion mixes, and logistics function is aimed at creating value for customer satisfaction. International logistics thus is aimed at getting the right product to the right place at the right time, whereby the typical interface between marketing and logistics has been delivering on enhanced customer services. Firms engaged in international business leverage logistics function as a strategic weapon for creating the time, place, and firm utilities. Bowersox has rightly enunciated that integration of marketing and logistics function is necessary in order to achieve the demand creation capabilities of the logistics function. Importance of international logistics. A firm engaged in international can leverage logistics to win competitive markets. The following points summarize the importance of international logistics. 1. Generation of demand. 2. Reduced cost of doing business. 3. Tapping international clientele. 4. Ensuring rapid economic growth. 5. Facilitates bridging gap between demand and supplies. 6. Strategic infrastructure for global integration. 7. Global outlook of Indian industry. 8. Access to sophisticated logistics processes and capabilities. 9. Ensuring critical supplies on time. In the context of international logistics, we can ignore role of integrated logistics management. Let us discuss integrated logistics services. Integrated logistics solutions is one way of addressing problems, as the supply for the product or services should be professionally and managerially controlled from the place of production to the end customer. It can be made possible only if firms can outsource their logistics operation to a specialized agency having dedicated expertise and experience. Thus, integrated logistics service providers offer skilled human resources, specialized regulatory services, and have knowledge of business practices of different countries, along with required logistics resources. Integrated logistic companies such as third-party 3PL providers play an important role in international logistics. They offer integrated logistics services in the entire logistic operation. These include 1. Packaging and labeling requirements. 2. Stuffing and destuffing. 3. Fumigation and sanitation. 4. Palletization and unitization. 5. Arranging containers. 6. Pre-shipment inspection. 7. Tax-related formalities. 8. Customs clearance. 9. Trade documentation. 10. Cargo insurance. 11. Licensing formalities. 12. Booking of shipping space. 13. Modal choice decisions. 14. Stevedoring arrangements. 15. Regulatory compliance. 16. Settlement of payments. 17. Claiming of incentives. 18. Duty drawback or export incentive formalities, etc. Integrated logistics service providers can easily coordinate the logistical activities in a global value chain from the place of origin to the place of destination and ensure optimum benefit to the user. Now, we can understand the role of third-party logistic providers specifically. Evolution of third-party logistics. The concept of 3PL has evolved in phases so as to relieve industries from huge logistic costs apart from the hassles of dealing with multiple logistics service providers. It began with the customs broker or customs house agent CHA. Custom brokers or CHA are engaged to the complete custom clearance formalities of both export and import cargo. They are licensed by respective custom houses and have sound knowledge of customs documentation, procedure, and rules. Freight forwarders came second in the chain of evolution of 3PL. Freight forwarders arrange for booking of shipping space on different types of carriers, facilitating loading and unloading, guiding on packing, labeling and marking, completing documentary formalities, and so on, in addition to all the functions performed by CHA. Gradually, the role of freight forwarders has become even bigger as they book space on all transport modes, may own some warehouse and transport assets, such as trucks for distribution along with other logistic assets. 3PL also act as custodian of cargo, collaborate with customers and carriers, facilitate IT operations and offer all clerical assistance. In short, 3PL provides all logistics services from the point of origin to the point of delivery or even consumption. 3PL perform logistics functions such as inbound freight, custom clearance, storage and warehousing, order fulfillment, distribution, and outbound freight to international customers around the world. 3PL are growing and are in high demand due to factors such as offering competitive logistics solutions, specialized and dedicated logistics services, resulting in improved customer services. In short, 3PL helps organizations to get improvements in efficiency and productivity in all logistic operations of the firm.
listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program. Course code Mmpc 016 International Business Management. Course Coordinator Professor G. Subayama. Voiceover by Renuka. Edited by Ashok Sharma. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.